Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Not like it's been 2 years or anything since my last one, but oh well. So anyways, in today's video we are going to be reviewing chapter 7 of the Hunters Guild Red Hood, which is a new manga that's come out on Shonen Jump. I think it's only been out a few months now, so being 7 chapters. So today we're going to be reviewing this chapter. So first off, we start by seeing the Ironworks Fortress, which is essentially a giant fortress on top of a train, or it is a train in itself, a carriage, and it's basically designed to train up the hunter candidates. The train's aim is to head towards the actual headquarters of the Hunters Guild, which is an island that can't be found on any map, and it's going to be a 3-month journey in order to get there. So the conductor of the train is, I believe her name is Debonair, who actually knows Grimm, so it'll be interesting to see what their backstory is. She also appears to know the siblings as well, so that'll be interesting to see how things progress with their training. When she meets Velou, Velou actually notices that she has very hot hands, so this could perhaps be one of her abilities that will become known in the future. Perhaps she's got some sort of heat manipulating abilities, or perhaps she's just really working up a sweat constantly. So as I said, they've got her embark on 3 months worth of training, which is supposed to be hellish. Now, first things first, we see someone called, I believe his name was Big Joe Bonkers, which is kind of a bit of a cranky name, but anyways. So he actually knows the siblings because he was actually failed 4 times previously to complete the training and become a hunter. So he also insults Velou by saying that a scrawny little kid is not going to be able to pass the training, which makes sense seeing what we've seen so far with how dangerous these monsters are, but obviously we know, as Velou is the main character, he is going to do it, probably. After this we see someone called Bremen, who's an elderly person. Now it's kind of crazy to think that an elderly person is going to attempt to complete 3 months of hellish training, and Big Joe actually mentions this to him and says, like, you're not going to be able to complete this training. But Velou tries to step in and defend the old person, but the siblings stop him before he has a chance to speak his mind. Then we see that Bremen actually has a very similar backstory to Velou. So Bremen's family were actually killed by werewolves, and that's why he wants to get revenge and become a hunter, which is the same as Velou, or Velou, I don't know what to call his name. So this is an interesting parallel that will probably become, which did become important later on in this chapter. After this we proceed to see some of the training that occurs, and even after 1 week the training has been so harsh that Velou can't even eat at all, and we actually see that he gets a 2,000 calorie dinner. Now Velou, even though he felt sick and he really wanted to throw up and couldn't eat his food, despite this he still said that he hates wasting food. It shows his appreciation and that he doesn't take things for granted, probably because his backstory involved him being raised in a relatively poor hamlet, so he probably appreciates all of the effort that's gone into making that food. And on top of that, he also showed his appreciation for the life that went in to die for that food. So it just shows that he's a good kid, really. After this, now we get to the important parallel between the old man Bremen and Velou. So we see that the old man has actually left the fortress on a boat. This basically shows that he couldn't keep his word. He swore that he was going to go and get revenge for his family, and he didn't even last a week. Now, Velou, this actually gives him more motivation to continue on. Unlike the old man, Velou wants to get revenge, he wants to become a hunter, and he wants to succeed. So this parallel shows that actually Velou, unlike the old man, he's not willing to give up, at least not yet. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of the chapter. So we actually see Cinderella and the giant wolf. I'm not sure if the giant wolf actually has a name or not yet. I did look back through the chapters and I couldn't actually see his name. So if any of you know the name of this giant wolf, please let me know in the comments. So we see that Cinderella and the wolf are actually stalking the fortress and are actually keeping tabs on Velou. Now Cinderella asks the giant wolf if he thinks Velou is actually going to get stronger or not, and the wolf replies that he's merely a stand-in, and that he doesn't have what it takes to be a star. Now this suggests that there's some sort of secret plan that the Red List are actually currently working towards. Now in the previous chapters we actually see that that Grimm confronts Cinderella and the wolf and says that it's not normal for them to show up at such a small hamlet and they must be up to something. And to this Cinderella replies, "Tell the Hunters Guild that the Red List are on the move again." Now the Red List is likely a group of really strong monsters, essentially, like Cinderella and the wolf themselves, clearly. So the fact that they're on the move suggests that serious, foreboding disaster is about to occur on the land. When the giant wolf said it's not that Velou doesn't have what it takes to be a star, by star is he referring to a hero? And if this is the case, is the Red List looking for a hero of some sort? Perhaps one that will join the monsters and the humans together. The next thing we see is that the mayor is actually in conjunction with the giant wolf and Cinderella, as he's actually sitting on the giant wolf's tail. Now when I first read the chapter, I thought the giant wolf was the mayor and I got really confused. But in case you missed it as well, the mayor is actually sitting on the giant wolf's tail. But it wasn't very clear the first time I read it, so I'm not sure if anyone else had that problem as well. Now this can suggest two things in my opinion. So either the mayor is actually working with Cinderella and the wolf to undergo their master plan, and this would actually mean that Velou's upbringing and being raised by the mayor was all a part of the mayor's plan to cultivate Velou into becoming what he will become, which is likely a hunter, or this star that they've been referring to. And this would therefore mean that Velou's upbringing was fake, and we know how much Velou actually values his family and his upbringing, and especially we know how much he values the mayor, as well as the fact that he thought the mayor had actually died, and it was part of the reason why he had so much motivation to become a hunter. So in the future chapters, if he finds out that the mayor's alive and that his whole upbringing was fake, this could essentially destroy his entire world and his entire thought process, and it may actually make him question everything he's done to become a hunter, especially if he's had to kill people or take on massive risks and lost people on the way, people who are dear to him, to find out that everything he's done was all for nothing and all because it was part of someone's plan. It really will make him waver and might actually perhaps turn him over to the monster side instead. And this will be something that will probably come up many chapters later if it does. Now the other thing this could mean is that the mayor has been forced to work with the giant wolf and Cinderella, and that he's actually being held hostage. I think this is less likely. However, if you do look at the mayor's face, he does look very annoyed, so perhaps he has been being held hostage to some degree. He could also be part of the Red List, and he could be a monster in disguise, or he could be human. Now, the question for whether or not the mayor is human or not, we really have no idea at the moment. It's honestly, it could be anyone's guess. So my last point that I want to mention about this chapter is that the wolf and Cinderella are clearly following Velou, or are following the fortress at the very least. This means that in the future chapters they might actually attack the Hunters HQ, which will be very interesting to find out how they plan to go about this, because obviously they're going to have to fight lots of very strong hunters. If they're not planning to attack the headquarters and they're actually just stalking Velou, it makes me wonder what they're going to do over the next 3 months as the fortress gets closer to the headquarters. And it makes me wonder, will the wolf and Cinderella and the mayor actually be found by Debonair or Grimm while they're on their journey? And perhaps in the next few chapters we may actually see a fight between Debonair, Grimm versus the mayor, the wolf and Cinderella. Well, either way, I'm looking forward to the next chapter, and I hope I'll see you all in the next review. This has been my first video in 2 years, so I haven't talked in front of a microphone for a very long time. So if I've started here or there, please forgive me, because I haven't talked in front of a microphone in a very long time. So with that said, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it, and it'll help my channel grow. I'm hoping to continue making videos. I've just been very busy. No promises though, but if I do start my channel up again, there will be more Made in Abyss. Right. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye now.